Cadet Master Sergeant Chandler, and in this video, I will be covering safety and cadet protection. This is part 3 of 3 to the Wingman course that you need in order to promote from Cadet Basic to Cadet Airman. When it comes to how we think, always think safety first. Think, is what I'm about to do going to harm me or have the potential to harm someone else physically? If the answer is yes, you may want to reevaluate what you are about to do. Here's an example of what not thinking safety first is. You need to reach something in a cupboard that you can't reach flat on your feet. You don't have a stool, but instead you have a rolly chair. So you decide to use the rolly chair as a stool. So you start to push the chair over to the cupboard and you start to get up on it, but then the next thing you know, you're on the ground with your head busted open. So the moral of the story is to think safety first and not use a rolly chair as a stool. What could you have done instead? You have some options. You could have found a different chair that didn't have wheels, or you could have waited until someone else could grab it without needing the extra height. So my point is, think safety first and don't get your head cracked open. As cadets in Civil Air Patrol, we are able to do a lot of fun things. We get to go on O-rides, do obstacle courses, and even go on missions sometimes. But with fun things like this, there are hazards. Think of the hazards there are when you go on an O-ride. You're around an airplane with moving parts. You're on a taxiway where there are other people and other planes around you, and there's planes coming in and taking off. So going back to the previous slide, you always need to be watching for hazards and thinking safety first. Our safety officer says this a lot. Keep your head on a swivel. This means to always be looking around you and to be aware of your surroundings. On top of people saying, keep your head on a swivel, you might also hear the words, knock it off. When someone says knock it off, it means to immediately stop what you are doing and await further instructions. You can find more information about this on page 8 in your new cadet guide. It's hard to think ahead when it comes to your safety and well-being. What's the weather going to be like outside on PT night? Is it going to be 50 degrees or is it going to be 80 degrees? If it's 80 degrees, you're probably going to want to wear shorts and a t-shirt. Whereas if it's 50 degrees, you might want to bring a jacket. Do you have your water bottle? Is there enough gas in your car to get you from point A to point B? Do you have means of communication? Whatever it might be, think ahead and think safety. Now I'm going to go over the cadet protection and the rule of 3. The rule of 3 basically means that whenever you do something cap related, you need to have 3 people. This is also a good rule to have in everyday life. If you need to email a cadet or senior member, you need at least 3 people in the email. If you need to message your LEO or another senior member on Slack, you need a 3rd person. This person can be your wingman, a parent, another cadet, or another senior member. Whatever it is, you need 3. This also applies to transportation. You need 3 people in the car, either 2 cadets and a senior member or vice versa. The only time this doesn't apply is when it's a family member. One more important note. If you notice a senior member asking you or another cadet to go somewhere with them alone, you need to tell an adult. It's okay to skip the chain of command for this. Just tell a trusted adult because it's not okay. So to conclude part 3, I talked about having a pro-safety attitude, hazard awareness, thinking ahead about your safety, and the rule of 3. Again, this was part 3 to the Wingman course. After you have watched all 3 videos, let your LEO or your leadership education officer know, and you will be given a short comprehension quiz, and you will be done with the Wingman course.